No one really talks about the loneliness of the in-between. It feels like you're doing all the work, but your life has not yet caught up. You feel lost, you feel frustrated, you feel lonely. It's such a frustrating space to be in. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Millie and I'm so happy to have you here. And today we are going to talk about a space of life that I've been in for quite some times, where you feel like you're doing everything right. You're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort, you feel like you're doing everything that's recommended, but your life still looks the same. It feels and looks as if you have not done anything. That's what I call the in-between space, where you are moving from the life you have to the life you want. Like you're becoming, you're still in the process of becoming, and it can be really tough. Oh my God, I know from experience today. I'm speaking from absolute experience. This in-between space can feel so tough, can feel so exhausting. It can feel like, why am I doing all this? You can question your decisions, you can question your choices. You may even slip back to who you were once or twice, and then you dust yourself up and start all over again. It's a lot of work, honestly. It's a lot of emotional and physical work, and I wanted to just encourage someone and share that if you're in this space, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone, where you're trying to build the vision of your dreams, the life of your dreams, but you're not yet there. You're still in the murky waters. You're still wading through the mud, trying to find your bearing, trying to get to the vision you're going to. Of course, you're doing the work. Of course, it's tough. Of course, it's exhausting. I feel you and I hear you, and I'm here to encourage you because I've been there. I think I'm almost on the other side, but I can assure you I've been there and I've felt all those feelings. I've felt those deep aches that don't go away, but I've dusted myself off many times and I'm still going, and I'm hoping to get to the other side soon. So I wanted to talk about some of the feelings you may experience in the in-between from my own life experience and what I've gone through. One of the things I've felt is frustration. Like, I'm just frustrated. Why is this phase taking so long? Like, can we just get it over with? You know, that phase in a toddler's life where they want to be independent, but they are yet to get the skills necessary for them to be independent. Like, they want to use a fork and knife, but their tiny hands are not yet well skilled enough to be able to do that. That's what I've felt. Like, a toddler may get so frustrated and then they'll throw like a huge tantrum. But for an adult, you just get frustrated and yeah, you have to deal with your own frustration. No one is there to handle tantrums for you. That feeling of frustration, like, I know where I'm going, but my life does not still look like where I'm going or where I want to be. And maybe I'm still learning. I still don't have the full skill set to get me to the life I want. So I'm still learning and it's exhausting and I don't have the energy. Sometimes it can be very frustrating, and I've felt that. Another feeling that I've experienced is loneliness, like feeling like people don't understand what you're going through. Like, others around you do not get this vision that you have in your head of where you want to go or why you're putting all this effort. Why are you going to therapy? Why are you going to the gym every day? Why are you waking up at 6? Are you crazy? Why are you joining clubs to make new friends? Why are you doing all this? Like, other people may look at you and be like, she's doing the most. Like, why is it necessary? And her life still doesn't look any different. Her body, even after going to the gym for 2 months, is still ish. like why are you doing all this, and the people around you may not get it, and that creates a deep ache of loneliness inside of you. And I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely normal and you'll get to the other side. But for now, that loneliness means that you have to keep going. You don't have to give up. And that brings me to the next feeling, like the constant desire to give up. Like you're constantly bombarded with feelings of like, let me just stop this. What is this nonsense? Can I just stop and go back to the life I know, go back to the familiar? Oh my God, I know that feeling. And it comes from your brain. Your brain is wired for familiarity. It's wired for comfort. So it's always feeding you information, feeding you this garbage that so that you can take it back to the life it knows, so that you can take it back to the familiar. And that's why change is so hard, because your brain will keep telling you, let's go back. It's easier over there. It's easier when we were sleeping up to 8 a.m., when we didn't have to wake up and go to the gym. It was easier when we were not going to therapy and unraveling all this trauma. Like, it was easier. Let's just go back. And so you find yourself sometimes self-sabotaging, like you want to go to the gym, but you sometimes don't set an alarm, or you start feeling an ache somewhere. Just tiny little things that point towards self-sabotage, and they come from this constant desire to give up, constant feeling like the brain feeds you constantly information to go back to where you are, so that you don't go to the uncomfortable, so that you don't use all the energy and resources on this new person you're becoming. But this is still another sign that you have to keep going. You don't have to stop here. You can recognize what is happening and then still go to the gym, still go to therapy, still continue applying for that career role you've been wanting. You have to keep going. You don't have to stop here. I wanted to discuss like what the importance of going through this phase and not giving up, and why this space that feels so tough is so important. It's critical for where you're going. It's critical for building the person that lives the life that you want. It's almost too important to jump over. Like when you're going through this phase, one of the things that I know that the in-between has shown me is that something is growing, something is happening on the inside, on the underground, that people cannot see, but something is growing. Like, for example, when you plant a seed, let's say a tomato seed, you don't expect to see the roots. They're underground, they're in the soil. You don't expect also to see a plant growing the following morning. You have to wait. It's a process. You have to water it. You have to ensure it's in the sunlight, give it what it needs, so that the roots start forming, and then the plant will show up. But this process in ourselves can be so hard, but it shows that when you're showing up for yourself every day, roots are forming, your mindset is changing, your heart is changing, and therefore, soon enough, a plant will start to grow. You're honoring your needs, you're giving yourself what you need, you're taking care of yourself, you're encouraging yourself, you're finding your people, surrounding yourself with people that matter, and that mindset is changing. And eventually, you'll start to see the fruits. But you have to go through the in-between so that those roots form, that foundation becomes stronger, so that it can hold the person you're becoming. Another point is that the in-between is where you practice self-trust. Because in this space, people are not seeing the results. People are not feeling how you're feeling. People are not feeling the aches you're feeling in your body when you go to the gym. People are not seeing you process your feelings in therapy. So there's no applause. No one is telling you, good job for going for 4 therapy sessions. They don't know the work you're putting in there. They can't see the results. No one is telling you, good job for going to the gym for 5 days in a row. No, there's nothing to show. Where are the abs? I can't see the abs. But in this time, you're learning to trust yourself. You're learning to know that even when you're doing the work and the results are not there, like there's something else happening, and you can trust yourself. You can trust in the energy you're putting in this process, in the in-between. Like you can trust that energy, and that's where your self-confidence is born. That's where your self-trust, you start believing in yourself, because other people cannot believe in you. In this phase, you're the one feeling the mindset changes. You're the one feeling the body internal changes. You're the one feeling your heart change. You're feeling the inside movement, the internal movement. And that's how you know to trust yourself, to trust the journey, and know that you're heading somewhere, that the results will soon come. They may not be visible right now, but they are coming. And the other point is that the in-between refines your internal peace. Because there's so much happening, there's so much effort you have to put in, so much energy. Soon, when you realize that the process, the journey might take longer than you expected, you start accepting going with the flow. You start accepting God's guidance. You start knowing like you're guided. You start seeing little glimpses of growth. You start feeling like you're guided. You start seeing changes that you didn't know. You start feeling better from the inside. And that's when you know that your peace is more important than chaos. You start trusting that internal guidance system, your intuition. You start feeling how it guides you towards where you're going. I don't know how I can explain this better, but it's just something I've experienced. You start trusting God more. You start feeling guided, like where I'm going, I can see the next step. I may not be at the final destination, but I can see the next step, and I see it with more clarity. And that's how I feel that peace grounding me. That's why the in-between, as you approach your goal, as you approach your vision, you start feeling this internal peace, and then the effort, the energy needed is much lower. And now you stop fighting. You know, now I'm a gym girly. Now you know all these things I've been processing in therapy, they're important, and now I'm feeling more clarity in my head. You start seeing little results at work. You start seeing results come up in your relationships, in your friendships, and that's how you know you're on the right path. That peace comes over you when you stop that resistance, when you detach and you start feeling better. Now you know, wow, the results are just around the corner. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me as I share this journey of the in-between space with you. And I wanted to let you know, if you're in that space, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. I've been there. I'm still there. But I feel in life you have to go through many in-betweens. And if you're there, keep going. When you feel frustrated, lonely, when you feel like you want to give up, remember you're not alone. Remember you're on the way to your vision, to your goals. Keep going, keep going. Sometimes take some time to rest, but keep going. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm here cheering for you. And if this message found you at the right time, I hope you subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you and bye.